You're welcome, sir.
Very good afternoon. This is Dr. Jagadeesh from Achyutha Innovations. We have developed a technology called photosynthetic stimulator technology, which can be used to increase both yield as well as uh, disease resistance in pomegranate crops. Uh, Okay. So, introducing to Achyutha Innovations. Achyutha Innovations aims to improve social and economical status of the farmer through providing research-based solutions to agriculture and horticultural problems mainly. So, when it comes to horticultural, commercial crops, you have pomegranate, tomato, and many more fruits are there. I come across some of the problems in pomegranate, and I thought it would be good to discuss, how to improve the quality and yield in pomegranate cultivation and reduce the chemical usage in pomegranate cultivation. So here, the main microorganisms that causes the diseases are Xanthomonas, Polytotrichum, Phytophthora. Like that, you have Alternaria. So many things are there. So what we use here is both research-based technology as well as the package and practices recommended by ICAR. So we combine these two together so that the farmers can get a benefit of this technology. How the photosynthetic stimulator technology can help, solving this problem. I will come to the this flower problem later. So photosynthetic stimulator technology mainly deals with photosynthesis, concentrating mainly on Kelvin cycle and photophosphorylation. So through my research, from past 12 years, I have developed a formulations which can increase the activity of enzymes. Mainly, if you talk about Kelvin cycle, it's ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase enzyme. So this is a phase breaker enzyme, and if you increase this activity, definitely your carbon cycle will be more, and it can capture more atmospheric carbon dioxide and convert that into the sugar, and help the plant to increase both biomass and quality. But to work, this enzyme, it needs NADP, NADPH, and ATP. These are the, we call it as biochemical currencies, which will be obtained from photophosphorylation. So just by stimulating Kelvin cycle won't help the carbon fixation and its conversion to the sugar. We need to implement that other technology also to enhance ATP and NADPH production. So thereby we developed one more formulation called Photon Max. To activate Kelvin cycle, we have Rubisco Act, we call it as a formulation. And to stimulate the photophosphorylation, we have developed Photon Max. So it mainly triggers the protein complexes even in the dim light, so that the plant can efficiently produce NADPH and ATP, so that it can be utilized in a Kelvin cycle to fix carbon dioxide. So it is applicable in almost all the crop. So once we have activated carbon cycle, activated Kelvin cycle and photophosphorylation, you need water. So water is the media, and it has to be there. Unless water is not available, means that there is no biochemical reactions. To improve the water uptake capabilities of the plant, through the research, and by adding some of the things which are responsible for white root formation and white root stimulation. So totally we have three formulations in the name of Surya Shakti. So that can completely give a solution to the problem which related to increasing the yield and increasing the disease resistance. So when it comes to the specific to the pomegranate as such, Probably you might have seen the farmers are using the package and practices devised by either the research institute from Pune, that's under Josna, or ICAR, or some of the agricultural universities. So when they follow that procedure, sometimes what happens, they will get the better crop for 2 to 3 harvest. But after the second harvest, I have seen lot of farmers are facing problem with respect to the flower formation. That's what I'm showing here. So in what they will get, with their practices is uh, either they will get a male flower, or we call it as a functional male flower. So functional male flower almost looks like, with the female, the stigma and other things developed, but they are not functional, but only the anthers are functional. So when you have hermaphrodite flower, so in that you can have stigma better developed and above the anthers, and it is, I mean, it is ready to get fertilization and get into the fruits. But when the farmers follow their practices and and their schedules, I have seen people are getting more male flowers than hermaphrodite, or the functional male flowers. The reason behind that is the plant, I mean, once they harvest, they won't consider nourishing the plants. So there's a big problem, so big mistake the farmers are doing in their field, so that the plants are not in a position to produce a functional hermaphrodite flowers. So for this, what I suggest is, once immediately after fruit harvest, they have to give a sufficient, I mean, I have mentioned all those things in my schedule. I will share that schedule in the later part of this presentation. So they have to nourish the plant in such a way that whatever the energy that has drained into the fruits, that has to be replaced first. So keeping that, so I mean, if you implement our technology immediately after fruit harvest by providing the required nutrients, plant can regain its say strength and accumulate the photosynthetes in the form of sugars and other molecules within three, I can say 2.5 to 3 months. So then if you go for like pruning, and then and also we have designed, we have researched on ethylene, the plant hormone. I have seen people are using excess ethylene, like 2 ml per liter in a spray, so which will cause a lot of problems in the plant system, because probably much research work has not done with respect to ethylene and its role in the flower production. Actually, if you use lower say amounts, then it can support uniform flowering. But I mean, if you talk about an ethylene as such, it's a depth hormone. I mean, senescence hormone, we call it as in biochemistry. So which is responsible for detaching the leaves and reducing the cell wall thickness. There are so many things which have research from past 6 years, and seen the effect of ethylene and how it does on the plant system. So one has to reduce, or use a minimum quantity which is required for defoliating, so that they can remove the diseased leaves and then go for the flowering. And watering is also very important to get the proper, say, functional flowers, hermaphrodite flowers, so that they will convert into the fruits. So here to get more, say, functional flowers, photosynthetic stimulator technology does fantastic role in reviving the plants, even from, say, they are dying. I mean, probably most of the farmers may have seen about dieback symptoms, as well as a lot of anthracnose and blight. So with this technology, one can minimize the incidence of blight as well as anthracnose. along with reducing the impact, of ethylene with respect to making the plant, die. So for that we have one, to improve the say flower formation and to get functional say flowers, we have flower booster. So this has to be applied at 8th day, from April spray. So ethyl we propose not to go beyond 0.5 ml per liter, and with other additives, so that it helps in not only uniform leaf drop within say a span of 7 days, but also stimulates the formation of better flowers. So coming to the complete physiology of pomegranates. So as I mentioned, Rubiscoact, Photon Max, and Magic Root. So Magic Roots helps to produce more tertiary roots, say white roots we call it as. So which will help in absorbing the plant nutrients from the soil, both water, minerals, and the nutrients. So once we establish the functional roots, so then we can alter the functionality of leaves. So then comes activating the Kelvin cycle. So it has to be done in sequence. The reason here is I will tell you that later. So once you stimulate the roots, then we stimulate the leaves, and this technology has to be implemented during the vegetative growth of the leaf. So it has to be done before leaf differentiation. So say initial 3 months from the leaf drops is very crucial for this technology. So what it does is, once you apply, spray the Rubiscoact, so it helps in establishing the say the plastids and the chloroplast and other things, along with say after 7 days you have Photon Max spray. So like that you have 3 sprays of Rubiscoact and 3 sprays of Photon Max, and 1 Magic Root drenching along with zinc DTA and 1261 and 0050. So this completely makes whatever the nutrients are required for proper flowering. So that way it helps the plant to produce effective and functional leaves. And the difference between the leaves with say photosynthetic stimulator technology and a normal case is they have parrot green color. Parrot green means it's very functional. That's what we have noticed with that. So when you implement, this is the result with the we call it Surya Shakti, we call it as Surya Shakti technology or photosynthetic stimulator technology. There are synonyms. So once you implement a photosynthetic stimulator technology, so you have better flowering and then better you can say a fruit set. So this is what taken from our experimental plots in the farmer's field. So you can see the growth and the color, how it changes at the different stages. So with this technology, one can not only enhance the say productivity and quality, but also you can shorten the development period. Usually pomegranate development takes for almost 6 months from the day of flower setting. But with our technology, due to enhanced, we call it as realizing increased photosynthetic efficiency. That's called RIPE. So by increasing the photosynthetic efficiency, you can produce, you can capture more atmospheric carbon dioxide, and that can be converted into sugar. That sugar can reach the fruits, easily. To do that, you have already, make sure that necessary nutrients will be absorbed by stimulating the root hairs. You have made the biosynthetic pathways works in more efficient way in leaves, so that they can capture more carbon dioxide and convert it into sugar. And you also made sure that the light, whatever the things which are falls on the leaf, will be utilized by the plant and converted into the ATP energy, which in turn support carbon capture. So that way, the plant will have natural resources from the sun. Just to give an example, it's like having more amount in bank so that you can use it for so many things like that. I mean, if you have more say energy molecules in the plant system, plant can use it for both like fruit development and also fight against the disease. So this is how our technology makes the plant to not only fight against the say pathogens like fungus and bacteria, but also make sure that the fruits will have better maturity, better quality. So when you open, I mean, with the technology, you can see the your left hand side, the fruit which is open with 5 lacules. So that's how the fruit looks like. And also, I mean, with the photosynthetic technology, the roots are will be thick so that it can't easily damaged by any insects or pests. You can see the right, the control, how it's the side-by-side plots which have taken for the experimentation. You can see the color development, taste, and other things. So when we talk about the Brix value, I mean the total TSS we call it as total soluble solids or total soluble sugars. With with photosynthetic technology, you have almost 22 and above. It goes up to say 25 Brix. But if you talk about with the control, it never crosses 20. So you can see the weight with photosynthetic technology. So these are other things which are taken in different farmers' field, at harvest stage. So you can have, I can say, quality of fruits with photosynthetic technology compared to without the technology. So this technology works well when you have a drip irrigation along with that. So most of the cases, when people go for pomegranate cultivation, definitely they use drip irrigation. But my suggestion is better to go for pressure regulated drip. I mean water application rather than going for the microtubes. The reason is the slower and longer you give, you will have the better results in pomegranate quality as well as the weight. So I was talking about our nutrient management schedule developed to improve the quality and quantity in pomegranate crops. See, when the major pruning happens, most of the farmers, what we have seen, they won't spray anything. So they will spray something like after 3 days. But it's crucial to spray a fungicide on the day itself in the evening time. Say after 3 or 4 o'clock, you can use COC or Bavistine, but COC is the best one. We have our product, we call it as SR85, which is an adjuvant, which helps in mobilizing the molecules, across the cuticle. So we suggest that with 0.5 ml per liter concentration along with COC to check any infections which are supposed to happen with the pruning. So when we do pruning only, I mean the farmers has to understand that plants is a living entity. So water stopping to the plant should not exceed 28 days. So you have to plan pruning, stopping the water for 10 days. After pruning, you have only 11 days to irrigate again. So that way you have to plan, or else the plant will get into a lot of diseases and lot of pest attacks and other things will be there, and it will completely leads to the loss of quality in the pomegranate fruits. So that importance has to be given in the beginning. So my suggestion is immediately after harvest, you have to provide major, whatever the nutrients required to rejuvenate the plant first. Once you rejuvenate, then you can stress it. I mean, if already when the fruits are there and they have already stressed the plant, and you further stressing it again will cause a lot of biochemical changes within the plant system, and finally it leads to a death of the plant. So considering that, so one has to replenish everything before getting into the next cropping system. So ethyl, as I said, it has to be 0.5 ml per liter. Along with that, we use curacran. Curacran acts as a both insecticide as a defoliator. So its concentration also be limited to 1 ml. So if you use more than 1 ml, again it has some other deleterious effect. So one has to use 1 ml per liter only. Along with that, you can use Marshall neem oil. Along with that, we are giving 8 gram per liter of mono ammonium phosphate and 8 gram per liter of um, uh, this one mono potassium phosphate. So this is for the fields which tend to have more, say, the shoots. I mean, if the shoots are, I mean, not that much and limited shoots are coming, then we can change the combination of MAP with the MKP. Instead of MKP, you can use SOP. So 0.5 ml of SR is essential for that to bring that. So then after that, as I mentioned, it's like 6 days. Then we go for flower booster spraying. And I mean, these things just goes on like that. And after that, say from the day of major pruning, on the 4th week. So 4th week in the sense, I think I'll almost say 28th day. So the water has to be given. So that water, initial water, when you are giving first day, so the second day you can implement, I mean, you can drench with magic fruit. So like that, it goes. So then we have one more, the molecule which supports photosynthesis kriya. So what it does is it helps in activating the cell cycle, cell activity, we call it as overall cell activity. This has to be sprayed along with rubiscoac so that you have better flowers and lesser flower drops before, say, a pollination. So once it get pollinated, then the flower won't fall. But when you have a problem in the initial stage, I mean, if they not get pollinated, then the flower tend to drop sooner. So just to extend the time, say a day or two, Kriya does that job. So then you have rubiscoac and Photomax sprays like almost say 7 days or 5 days, depending upon the crop response, to get the best quality and then the best quantity. So like that, you have photosynthetic distributed technology applications once in the say life cycle of the say harvest. I can say once in an harvest you have to do that. So this was just a slip to what other things which we are planning. So this is not required. So as I mentioned, to improve the disease resistance and quality, one can increase the photosynthesis by using photosynthetic stimulator technology. And the main thing in pomegranate farming is thrips, aphids, jacids, and even shoot borers. They have to be regulated or controlled at the earliest, before the plants get damaged. So my suggestion is probably you have seen the carbon powders which are available here and there by burning the some of the plants. So I suggest the people to use almost 1 to 1.5 or maximum 2 kilos of carbon powder per plant, which enhances the say nutrient retention as well as the water retentions, and also suppress the say the grubs and other insects in the roots. Then you have to use helpful microbes like Pseudomonas, Trichoderma, Bacillus, Bavaria basilensis, something like that, so that so they can help you in a long run and also you can minimize the chemical usage, most of the insecticides and fungicides in this. When you use fungicides, both contact and systemic, so this has to be done before say monsoon starts or rain starts, so that you have better effect. And the sprays has to be done in the evening. The reason is, so during photosynthesis, and if you spray anything in the morning, whatever the things which falls on the leaves will just get say expelled through the transpiration. So if you spray the chemicals or the whatever the nutrients to the plants in the evening, like in after 4, there is less sunshine, then photosynthesis is less. Then you have 8 to 10 hours of time for the chemical to enter into the leaf, through diffusion. So that way, it helps a lot, and you will have a better quality and better, say you can say, results by spraying the molecules in the evening time. So we also wants to give a consultation with respect to water. Maintaining the water, nutrient, and even early detecting the infections and other things, and also planning to establish, develop molecules with very slow release, so that one can, the plant can get the nutrients easily and without much loss. And we also recommend community control system rather than individual control system. And also what we say is, with this technology, one can benefit a lot, as I mentioned, by studying the crop, say the physiology, the biochemistry, and its response. So the idea is, whatever, if you increase with photosynthesis, the energy, then the energy can be utilized for, say, disease resistance, insect resistance, as well as getting the good yield and good quality. So what we have seen with this technology is, in the first say harvest itself, the farmers harvested close to 22 kilos on an average per plant, with maximum, say, we call it a grading, double A, triple S, like that. Majority of that, and the wastage of, say, a maximum, we can say 5%, not more than that. So that's what the technology can help farmers in getting the good quality pomegranate, and also the health of the plants. So health is very important. So unless, if you have only 1 or 2 crops, and if the crop fails after the fourth say cropping system, so then it's a loss to the farmer, because he has to again wait for 18 months. And one more things which I have seen with the pomegranate farmers is, they go for early fruit setting. So I suggest not to go early beyond, say, the better is go beyond 18 months. 18 months, if you rear the crop, rear the plant, and then go, then the chances of getting the problems are less. And if you start with, say, 12 months or 10 months, then the crop may enter into a lot of difficulties, and if you won't have better, it's a quality of fruits you can't expect. That's what I have come across with many farmers through my almost, say, 8 years of experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants.
Sure, sure.
Sir, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir, so that we can see your...
Yeah.
Sir, can you share any real world examples or case studies of pomegranate growers who have successfully used this technology?
So shall I share this? I mean, the video itself. That should be better, I think.
Yeah, you can share, sir.
1 minute. 1 minute.
What happened, sir?
Madam, are you getting the news?
No, sir, you have to share the screen, sir. Share the screen. Sir.
1 minute. I am not getting this one.
Uh-huh.
So this is in Kannada.
Okay. As the video is going on, you can explain, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you start from the beginning, sir.
yeah, this has grown bagua crop in 2 acres. So
We are not able to hear his audio, sir. You can speak. As the video is playing, you just explain.
okay, actually he has grown the crop in this one eucalyptus crop, removed area. So he lost almost 200 crops, immediately, after planting. That's what he says, after, removing the eucalyptus plantation. Now he has retained 600 plants. So in others, what he says is they have lost most of the crop in that one. You can see this is the first crop in provincial. So he says approximately 15 kilos crops, harvesting. He says there is no crop, and also crop affected with the blight. So he has not faced any problem with respect to flower setting. So I also talk about the weight of the fruits. So is almost used all the products of us. I mean the. So actually, he was facing a lot of problem with respect to dieback. So after using photosynthetic stimulator technology, you could retain the the plants, and he has this so this I will stop, madam. This one.
Okay, sir. I'll move on to the next question, sir.
Yeah.
What are the current challenges and limitations in pomegranate crop production, particularly in terms of yield and fruit quality?
The challenges mainly what I've seen with the farmers are actually the many consultants, those who visit these farmers field, right? They are not educated. And one more thing is, I mean, once they grow, some in some area and they get a good crop, they think that they can, convince other farmers to, grow the better pomegranate crop, like that. So that's what, if the knowledge is not there, when the problems arises, just to give an example, a day before I visited one plot. So one person, actually, that I mean, there's also masters in horticulture. He says, but almost spent, from the farmer side, almost 12 lakhs rupees, but the harvest yield was completely something around 80,000 rupees. The reason is he could not able to diagnose the root formation. He says whatever the things he recommended, all the chemicals he recommended, and made the soil so barren, and it was not supporting the plant system itself. So the major challenge is that if the knowledgeable people and those who have knowledge of biochemistry, physiology, and the soil science, and that helps a lot in solving this problem, rather than unknown person with unknown, say, education background, taking over and convincing the farmers, and just making money by making selling, and all those things. Sorry to say this.
Okay. What specific benefits can pomegranate growers expect from using photosynthetic stimulators in terms of yield improvement?
Okay, so when it comes to yield improvements, most of the pomegranate farmers, as I mentioned, when they spray, they spray in quantities are not recommended. I mean, they go beyond that. They think that if you use more, and that give you the benefits in a more, something like that. So, but these are chemicals which will impact the plant health, and most of the time, third harvest, the plants are almost dying. Because of that, what they are doing now is they go for high density planting. Even in high density planting, if something happens in one place, it can completely go across the plot and destroy the whole farm itself. So by using and photosynthetic stimulator technology, and the recommendations what we suggest as per the ICAR and IHR guidelines, the regarding the, say, the distance between the plants, distance between the rows, like that, and water irrigation and other things, along with the photosynthetic stimulator technology, people can go up to 12 harvests rather than 3 harvests. So that's the benefit, one benefit. Second benefit is, so most of the people see, I mean, the farmers see the dieback in the third, say, the cropping system. So they can minimize the dieback by enhancing the photosynthesis through photosynthetic stimulator technology. So thereby it makes the plant more stronger, and the moment, I mean, if you have more say amount in the bank, you can spend it for your health, your food, your children's education, and you can construct house also like that. I mean, when you come to the plant system, if you have more photosynthesis, it can use it for defense, it can use it for fight against the pathogen, it can use it for giving the good quality branches, leaves, flowers, and even the fruits. So that way, the photosynthetic stimulator technology can help the farmers to get a good quality and a good amount. I mean, say of the yield in the yield wise from their farming field.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. Just a minute, sir. Are there any specific environmental or climatic conditions that influence the effectiveness of photosynthetic stimulators in pomegranate farming?
Definitely, madam. I mean, if you have like summer days, if you apply, so you can have your yield increments up to say 80%, 85%. And if you do the same thing in like winter, it won't work because enzymes work in the warmer conditions up to say 35 degrees centigrade. But with photosynthetic stimulator technology, even if the temperature goes, I mean the atmospheric temperature goes up to 42 degrees centigrade for 2 to 3 months, then also there won't be any problem because the photosynthetic stimulator technology makes sure that, I mean, whatever the processes which are happening within the plant system are channeled proper way, in the proper way. So, I mean, if the the radiation absorption is better, and if it is not used in say carbon fixation by Kelvin cycle, then more energy is there, and it is not utilized. Then finally, what happens is free radical production will be there, and leaf death will be there, and leaf falling will be there. So it completely leads to the disease. So that way, so what it establishes the understanding between water requirement, solar radiation, and the Kelvin cycle. So once we establish balances this pathways, then the effects are more that way. So in say sunny days you have better effect, and in winter days you have very little effect.
Okay. What is the cost involved in implementing this technology, and how does it compare to traditional farming methods?
Okay. So, when it comes to the casting, so it depends upon the crop phenotype and the productivity. See, I mean, if you are getting something like 8 tons per acre, then the casting will be around. I mean, the cost for photosynthetic stimulator technology will be around 20 to 22,000 rupees. But if the same plant is giving you something like instead of 8, it is giving 12, then there will be a little bit more increment because the dosage is based on the foliage. So based on the foliage, we recommend the photosynthetic stimulator technology products. So thereby, as your yield goes, there is a marginal increase in the price. So anyway, per acre, the cost will be between 22 to 28,000 rupees, not more than that.
Okay. Are there any potential risks or challenges associated with using photosynthetic stimulators in pomegranate cultivation?
No, madam. I mean, like when it comes to the quality and other things, that if you analyze the fruit in the laboratory, it shows, I mean, almost say it's equivalent to whatever the things you are growing completely organic. So there is no residual insecticides, fungicides, because the usage will be reduced to a larger extent. So when it comes to overall cost effects also, so you have almost 25% less cost compared to the normal say pomegranate cultivation practices, madam, in this case.
Okay. Can you provide guidance on application process and timing for using these stimulators in pomegranate orchards?
Yeah. So we will provide both the services as well as the products. Initially, what I suggested is the farmers has to contact us when they have the final harvest. So we start from the final harvest to next harvest. So there are multiple things which has to be practiced during the cultivation. I mean, each and every steps adds on to the quality and the quantity. So if something goes wrong in those initial steps, then the crop, they may not get a proper crop. That's the reason. So once they may, talk to us with the harvest, they will say, I mean, we'll talk about complete history, what they had and how, they have followed for the past 2 years, and what are the positives and negatives they have faced. Along with that, then we will decide the schedule for them. It's like area and soil specific schedules we design rather than general schedules.
Okay. How long does it typically take to see noticeable result in terms of yield and fruit quality after using this technology?
See, I mean, initially, yield can be initially you can estimate based on the flower setting itself. So once you have proper flower setting, 100%, most of the farmers will retain those flowers. So from the implication of this technology, it takes at least 2 to 3 months to see the effects of this technology in pomegranate.
Okay. Are there any ongoing research or developments related to photosynthetic stimulators in pomegranate farming?
In India, it's not there, madam, and in the world itself, it is not there. But if you talk about US, and Illinois team is there, they put it as a right. Whatever I said, realizing increased photosynthetic, they use the same name. They has a RIPE project. You can Google it. You can get. So in that Kawang, some lady is heading that stuff, and they are doing for black gram and tobacco, not for food crops, horticultural crops. So they work on Kelvin cycle energy losses. So they are limiting the energy losses because, as I said, ribulose, bisphosphate, carboxylase, oxygenase enzyme is there. Once the oxygenase enzymes activity starts, then the enzyme breakdowns. So to make the enzyme again to work, it spends a lot of energy. The plant spends a lot of energy. So they use a different pathway. They call it as a glutamate pathway. So in that, they minimize the energy required for reversal of degraded enzyme. So thereby, their yield increments are 15%. But in our case, it's the yield increments are almost, say, on average, it is 35%.
Okay. What training or support is available for farmers who want to adapt this technology, sir?
We will guide them, as I said, from they have to give the details like where they what they have used.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
And
Hello.
Proportion they have to share the pedigree. So what their plot?
Sir.
I mean, if it is necessary, I mean, water analysis. So then we'll see now. Hello, is it okay now?
Now it is okay, sir. Your voice was breaking. Please answer this question again.
Okay, what I will do is I will just minimize my this one.
Camera.
Yeah, camera. That's better, I think.
Okay.
1 minute.
I will off it. You leave it, sir. I will off it.
Sure, madam. Sure.
You continue, sir.
Okay. So the idea here is, as I mentioned, the farmer has to open up completely. So what they were using, what they are facing. So then what we'll do, we'll take a couple of things, because here the major problems the farmers, I mean, create into the plant is they won't give any water and nutrients after harvest. So we make sure that they have done that problem, that creates that problem. Second one is ethereal usage. So if you manage this, the farmer's problem, you can almost solve 50% of the farmer's problem. So then photosynthetic stimulator technology comes in, and it will revive the plant within 3 months. so that they have a better flower set and like that. So for that, we make sure that the farmers learn these things in their field only. They need not to come to our research center to learn this. We'll make them to learn in their field itself. That's how we provide the training to them.
Okay. Are there any recommended best practices for integrating photosynthetic simulators into existing pomegranate farming practices?
Yeah, madam. Yeah, that's what I shared. So this is the standard package and practices designed by ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, New Delhi. So for that one, under you have also national development for horticulture also. So we have used their schedule and tweaked my photosynthesis stimulator technology into that, and farmers can follow it normally. So they won't see any changes in that, except extra sprays. That's it, nothing else. But it will be easy for the farmers to implement it.
Okay. Sir, can you share any information on potential economic impact of adopting this technology, including ROI and market advantages?
Okay, so just I will give an example. So probably I will just take an example from Corona time. So at that time, the price of the pomegranate was very less, and because of chemical studies and chemical sprays they use lot. I mean, farmers cannot export the good quality from here to say Middle East. With the person which used in our technology was able to sell the produce at 80 rupees per kilo when the market price is just 35 rupees per kilo. So, and whatever the price they've given it for transport, I mean, exporting that product from Bangalore to Middle East. So that's how, I mean, if you improve the quality and reduces the insecticidal pesticide residues in the plant, I mean, in the fruits itself. So that can add a lot. So when it comes to return on investment on this one itself, I mean, photosynthetic technology, they will get much more. Almost they will get 4 times what they invest in, purchasing the photosynthetic technology products.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Dr. Jagadeesh B. Henjarappa for the talk and for answering the question. I'd like to also thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting is now being closed.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir.